For me, it's such an honor to be here at one of the world's finest journalism and mass communication schools. Truly, this program is incredible. Opportunity to stand here and share my thoughts with such a vibrant, driven, diverse, passionate, committed, and brilliant and energized group. When you started your journey here at Grady, the world was a slightly different place. If you were a journalism major, your family members probably, and maybe your parents, your mother or father, may have politely suggested that newspapers were dying. Subscriber levels at lows. Social media was the place you were going to get news and was taking over. And what were you doing going into this profession? How times have changed. Now, if you're one of those graduating with a journalism degree, you are just simply known now as an enemy of the American people. You must be so proud. I know I am. But more than proud, I'm relieved. Because in what has become known as the post-truth era of alternative facts and fake news, American journalists exercising what is a constitution grants us a particular right that we will be able to have free press. So to single out journalists as enemies of the American people is really just interesting. And this is being done by some very powerful people. Enemies of the American people, the free press, communicators. Think about that for a moment. That wasn't the sentiment when you started your journey here 4 or 5 years ago. But in many quarters, it is the prevailing mindset as you venture out on your careers. And those words have never sounded more bizarre to me than they do now, here in this space and in this moment, celebrating these incredible students who have had intense study and effort that goes into becoming a journalist, an advertiser, a public relations professional. And never have they sounded more ridiculous. Because what I see when I look out at your young faces, I see something quite different. In fact, I see the opposite. I see exactly what America needs right now, more than ever. What the media landscape needs, what the press needs, what America needs, what democracy needs, and what the world needs. Because the era of post-truth and fake news, I will tell you, does not stop at our borders. It's much broader than that. I do, however, and I hope you do as well, see hope, see courage, determination, tenacity, possibility, commitment, innovation, and excitement. I see that in all of you, and I've met with many of you. You see, Grady College is a special place. The mission here is no secret. It is to be a transformative community that inspires students and soon-to-be graduates to relentlessly pursue the art, science, and integrity of communications and storytelling. With the education and skills acquired here, you will be able to illuminate stories, messages, brands in the world in new and profound ways. So I ask you to protect that spirit in your pursuit of your careers and in your personal life. Do not let the volatility or the confusion, contradictions, and challenges before you dampen that passion and the sense of possibility. Because make no mistake, what you do matters. What you have learned here matters. The skills you have acquired here matter. And they're so important now, perhaps now more than ever. You do not make it to graduation day at a school like Grady College of Journalism and Mass Comms by accident. And that means that all of you are here for a reason. And I believe it's because each and every one of you are so desperately needed in the era of world politics, media, and culture. And when you truly embrace that and understand the possibilities and responsibilities of being here for a reason, and knowing you are here for a reason, it leads you to something more powerful, valuable, and sustainable than anything you can find, a real sense of purpose. And I wish that for each and every one of you. Journalism, communications, public relations, and writing have always been tough, sometimes thankless, and even grueling occupations. The power, the speed, the reach, the disruption of digital and mobile and social media, which has now collided into an ever fast changing landscape, it's tough. On a slow day, it's fast. But I really believe things are better today. Today, the power of communications to tell stories is so powerful and undeniable. With a push of a button on your phone, you could publish to a global audience. Think about that. No barriers, no gatekeepers, no roadblocks. Everyone from major media communications organizations and companies to big brands to that local nonprofit organization understand the power of communications and recognize how it can galvanize support, understanding, advocacy, and change. It is so important, and you have acquired those skills. Think of what you're going to be able to do for our world. So I ask, some of you will become investigative journalists. Some of you will dazzle the world with words that dance off a page and tell truths even greater in fiction. Some of you will empower brands and organizations with strategic words and thoughts that allow them to connect and engage with audiences across the world. The skills you have honed here have prepared you for a number of exciting journeys. And I already know that you are very good. You don't get to graduation day at Grady if you're not already very good. And being very good is a great start. That great start starts now, of course. And I think your parents are excited about that. And I have the utmost confidence in the dedicated educators here at Grady who have worked so closely to help you develop these great skills. But as someone who has the opportunity to work with a number of brilliant minds across the world, and somebody who's learned from some great marketers and brand leaders, and somebody who gets the opportunity to work with CEOs, there's something every bit as important when you leave here today. As much as your skills will get you in the door, your talent alone will not forge your path. Your talent is a vehicle for you to drive, but where you go and how you get there, that's determined by something else. Here are 4 things I would like you to hold on to as you shape your world and your lives, because if you do, you will construct a life and career that are right and true for you, and you will have an incredible impact on those around you and possibly even the world. I call these the 4 I's, and not 4 eyes, but the 4 I's. The first is integrity. Flexibility is important. As my favorite songwriter once sang, knowledge adds, wisdom lets slide. But there's a big difference in being flexible and doing what it takes to get something done and compromising your core values. More than anything else, you will be remembered for your integrity. The fundamental beliefs you embody and uphold in all your dealings with others. Integrity means keeping your word, honoring your principles, and valuing the definitions that you've created of what is right and what is wrong over everything else. Over promotions, over salary increases, over recognition, and even over success. Define and clarify your principles now. Hold on to them. Trust me when I tell you, you'll be glad that you did in the end. And along the way, you will inspire trust and confidence not only in people who agree with you, but people who disagree with you as well. There's going to come a moment where there's tremendous pressure for you to compromise your values. It'll be a crossroads that you reach. The decision you make then, whether you realize it or not, will set you on one path or another. Please remember the first I, integrity. The second I is for imagination. If integrity is about truth, then imagination is about possibility. Start every day by asking yourself one simple question. What if? Just what if? It will train your mind to look at unforeseen opportunities, to seek undiscovered solutions, to keep innovation at the forefront of your thoughts and your mind. In an age of relentless evolution and change, it's people who are able to find new solutions that will rocket past others. The ability to see things coming, whether they're risks or benefits, and in time for you to devise actual plans. You will not even comprehend how valuable that will be to the organizations you work in. But to do that will demand vision and imagination, and a mind that is primed to seeing opportunities. The third I is improvement. When I was 9 years old, I ran home with a terrible grade on a test. My mother looked at me and said, "Did you do the best you could do? If you did, there's nothing to worry about." Her intention was to comfort me, but the gift she gave me was far greater. Nearly every day in my professional life, I ask myself, did I do my best? Often I think of ways in which I could have done better on that presentation, on that campaign, on that conversation with a colleague. And if you were thinking, yes, tonight I will go home and I'll say, how did I do on that speech? This continual focus and self-evaluation will help push yourself and push you throughout your career. And if a colleague or supervisor offers you some feedback, please don't become defensive, but instead listen intently. Your parents would have loved for you to do that over the last 22 years, but am I right? Yeah. But remember, there's always more to learn, and that everyone has something to teach someone. My career is a series of feedback and criticisms that have shaped my approach to business and my management style, and ultimately perhaps even some success. Although you might not wish to hear the feedback in the moment, your supervisor is showing how much she has invested in you. It is truly a gift. Finally, the fourth I stands for inclusion. As much as they seem to be more entrenched than ever, silos and boundaries of another time are crumbling. Yes, we all have digital filter bubbles that serve as personal echo chambers so that we can filter out things that seem to be different than our own thoughts. But inclusion starts in your mind. It's an inside job. Be sure to seek out different perspectives, opinions, and thoughts. Let me challenge you. If you're sitting at a table and everyone looks like you, thinks like you, and talks like you, you're in the wrong place. Your chances are you're only going to learn so much at that table. Unless you open your mind to others, you will never be able to truly find the deeper connections, the common ground, and the greater good that unites, informs, and inspires. I love the principle of inclusion because in many ways it is only truly possible when you have embodied the other three I's. As a truly open and inclusive life demands integrity, imagination, and the commitment to improvement. And in an age where we are all more connected, nothing is more in keeping than where we're going with inclusion. And nothing is more contrary than building walls to keep others out. Make sure you're not building those types of walls in your thinking. So as you make your way past this milestone, the end of one journey and the beginning of the next, you will naturally be looking for that position, the opportunity, the role, the break, the chance that you need. But while you search, and even while you have a struggle or some discouragement, please remember that who you are is vital, now more than ever. And if you keep the four I's, integrity and imagination and improvement and inclusion in your mind, no matter where you go and what you dedicate your talent and energy to, your service, to your own lives and the lives of the people closest to you, and to the world you will inherit, it will be positive and meaningful. So as I look out at you and I imagine the hard work you have already put in and the paths that you have taken and the extraordinary contributions that you will make, I share the excitement for the days ahead of all of us. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of this achievement here today, because from up here, I think truth is in pretty good hands. With enemies like you, who needs friends? So I say to you, congratulations, make us all proud, change the world, and of course, go Dogs.